Well, hi guys, this is the 2018 Mazda 6. Significant vehicle, not just for Mazda, but for the sedan market. As the sedan market begins to shrink and less people are buying sedans and moving to SUVs, every sedan manufacturer is pulling out the stops to make a bigger, better and more technologically advanced vehicle. And that's exactly what Mazda have done with the brand new 6. They've stepped up the performance, they've stepped up their fuel economy, the technology, the luxury features and the styling. We'll go through what's changed on the outside, the new updates on the inside, how the engine now has a turbo, and how this vehicle is probably one of the most technologically advanced Mazdas on the inside that they've ever made. One of the biggest problems that manufacturers have is when they create a fuel-efficient engine, it's not very exciting to drive. Mazda seem to have overcome that with adding a turbo into this 2.5-litre four-cylinder. Now it does have cylinder deactivation, but the turbo allows you to have performance and power, 250 horsepower by the way, but it also allows you to have 35 miles a gallon. It does come with a manual transmission, but the standard automatic transmission is much better for fuel economy. Now it does have cylinder deactivation as well as that 250 horsepower. It'll get 310 pounds-feet of torque. It also has G-vectoring control, which means that this vehicle is much more fun to drive and gives you a little more spirit than if it was just a plain old four-banger.
So how does this brand new Mazda 6 handle? Does the turbo make any difference? I didn't really want to like this car when I first got it. Mazda 6 was a very exciting car when it first hit the market, but it seems to have been fairly stagnant and not moved forward. But I have to say, the Mazda Turbo makes a huge amount of difference. It's not super fast, but it is very useful. I remember punching it in a regular Mazda 6 without the turbo and having a hard time getting around traffic quickly, especially when I was trying to change lanes on the freeway. This new system is very useful. It allows you to get more power. Of course, Mazda still has that zoom handling, and you punch this vehicle and listen to that. It does move, in fact so much so that the front wheels have slippage in the car. They're actually screeching out, very much like you might have a rear-wheeled car where you do a burnout from starting. These front wheels in this Mazda 6 definitely spin on the rubber if you actually punch it.
So what you might notice as a change on the 2018 Mazda 6 is the front grille. It's been updated, but the bigger change is in the light. Now these LED lights with integrated fog lights also have LED turn signals on the front and on the back. The vehicle now comes with 17 and 19-inch wheels, the option of a new crystal red color on the exterior, and some considerable updates on the interior of the vehicle. It looks fresher, it looks more modern, it looks a little more sleek. It still has that Japanese, cool, very simple look, but at the same time more elegance. And you'll find those premium materials and those premium elegance things on the inside have been improved as well.
Now once you get inside the 2018 Mazda 6, you'll notice quite a lot has changed. The interior is much more elegant than it has been in the past, and there's a suspicion that Mazda are actually looking to move themselves more into the premium segment of cars. These redesigned seats have a high density vibration absorbing urethane, and that means that you don't feel as many bumps on the road thanks to well-cushioned seats. But you can also hear a little bit of background noise. I don't actually have the fan on in the car. That noise is the ventilated seats. A nice use of new Napa leather that again lends to the question whether they're upscaling themselves at Mazda. Also, there is use of sen wood, and that is a very beautiful Japanese wood which gives a nice fine touches dark feeling to the inside. Bose surround sound system makes the interior entertainment, or ICE as we like to call it, very nice. And also you'll find on the inside a new heated steering wheel along with the Mazda Connect system. Very similar to BMW's xDrive, the Mazda Connect system allows you to use a rotator dial in the center console, which allows you to get through items on your screen up front. The whole idea of this Mazda Connect system is to allow drivers to keep their eyes on the road and less time looking at the screen. In fact, it has just the basic information that you need, and you can toggle through it to get more information. And also standard smart city braking with automatic emergency braking. And that's kind of cool because that means that you have a harder time running into pedestrians, which nobody likes to do. Full speed Mazda radar cruise control, which also has a stop and go feature, which means it's extremely useful in high density traffic. The vehicle will actually do the stopping and start up again as traffic moves. Now, what you'd normally know as a heads-up display in this car is actually called a windshield protected full color active driving display. And what that does is give you the actual posted speed limit plus the speed that you're going and what your cruise control is set at. Those pieces of information, of course, very useful to let you know where you're at when you're driving.
Brand new Mazda 6 starts at just under $22,000. I'm Nik Miles.